Welcome to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right. So I just finished recording a video on the death of Alexei Navalny, or we could just call it a murder because that's what it was. That's gone up on the Tarot of the Seven Seas YouTube page. My other YouTube account, Tarot of the Seven Seas. For those not aware, Tarot of the Seven Seas is a second YouTube page I started focusing on international tarot readings, mostly covering in the EU. So I went in depth into the energy around his reported death and domestic and international consequences for Putin as a result of it. So if you have any interest in finding out about that, I have a link on my community page. I'll put a link in the description here. Go check it out. If you haven't already, I'd love to see a subscription over on the international page. And you'll get another video from me. I put them up at 10 o'clock at night Pacific time, simply because it would be roughly 8 in the morning in the EU, so it gives them an opportunity to have their coffee, have me and their coffee in the morning. This video is going to be a quickie. And who doesn't love a Friday afternoon quickie? Judge Engoron has made our day. He's issued a $355, I believe it is, $1 million judgment against Donald Trump. Oh, and for extra good measure, Eric and Don Jr. both have to pay $4 million each for their role in the frauds that have been committed. But most of it's Donald's fraud, and he gets to pay the lion's share. I'm sure he's livid about this. But that's the point of this reading, is to find out how livid he is with this. Now, as I have made several readings where I was seeing the Five of Cups come up. Somebody's going to be disappointed. You know, it's funny. I made several readings here where I was saying I kept getting like $700 million was going to be the judgment on that. And that's come up 2 or 3 different times. And I'm asking, is that the total judgment? Is that just the fraud case? But whenever I ask about the fraud case, that's what I get. And I think I might understand why. When I did it last night, I got a 7 on it and then a 7 underneath it. I suspect that the Trump estate is going to fight. They might keep appealing. I don't know how long you keep appealing, but if the Trump estate doesn't pay and fights us in court for like the next 7 years at 9% interest rate, at 9% interest rate, the penalty will have doubled every 8 years. So if you fight this for 7 years, that's practically 8 years. That's practically doubling what the judgment is. So it could very well be that in the end of the day, $700 million is paid out, but it takes 8 years to collect it. Therefore, it's collecting interest and doubling. The other aspect of it could be that if the New York state gets a hold of Trump properties and sells them, they may not get dollar for dollar. They may only get 50 cents on the dollar. So while New York only collects $350 million, it takes away $700 million of Trump's net worth. So, and I'm not trying to say, oh, I wasn't wrong. No, I asked what it was, and that's what it was, and I expected the judgment from Judge Engoron to be $700 million. It wasn't, and it could be that I misunderstood the answer. So we'll see. These are 2 possible and maybe probable paths that could go on where that $700 million at the end of the day would be an accurate number. I guess I'll have to come back and visit this in 8 years to see what the final cost was on it. But for a quickie, I'm taking a really long time with the intro, so come on down. This is what you've been waiting for. How is Dear Donald feeling now that the judgment's been laid out against him and he has $350+ million to the state of New York for disgorgement? Entertainment purposes only. The Magician. Now the Magician is a card of manifestation. So it could be that he manifests the money from foreign entities, or the Magician at low energy is the illusion. Fools, kind of a fool's gold, like don't look over here. So we've got the magician card as the foundation of the reading. Um, and that's crossed with the Empress and Temperance, three major arcana. I think what this judgment, what it's going to do, two things. One, this is going to manifest kind of the end of Donald's life of luxury, because the money is being taken away, as are the tools. Without the money, he doesn't have the emotional manipulation. Without the money, he doesn't have the sword to fight, and he doesn't have the staff to bring his energy to delay. In many ways, what this means is that this settlement diminishes him. It takes him down a peg. He's going to be exposed as not as the person who was providing for everyone, but as the lazy, entitled mob wife, if you will. He just sits back and enjoyed everybody else's hard work while he sits on the luxury chair and casts judgment on people. Temperance. I think that it will take time for to complete the disgorgement process. Of course, Trump is going to try and fight it. The challenge for Trump in fighting this is that he either has to come up with a bond, and who's going to want to put a bond for $350 million up for him, or he's going to have to put up collateral that's not attached by liens and stuff like that. So he's in a hard place, and he's going to have to try and lobby, and maybe we can look to see if he ends up lobbying, stuff like that. But he's in a hard place right now. Again, it might take some time to get this money, but he's definitely being taken down a peg. In the past, we've got the Six of Cups. The worst thing in the world that ever happened to Donald Trump was being elected president of the United States. It put him in the spotlight for everyone to see who he really was. When, not that he wasn't trying to be in the spotlight in New York, but he was kind of a novelty. And even when he was on the TV show, he was a novelty. And Howard Stern, again, warned him, do not do this. You will not be happy. You've got everything you want. Go fly around your helicopter and play golf all day. Why would you want to be president of the United States? But Trump was naive. He thought he could handle it and make the biggest grift of his life, and he did. And now he's bearing the consequences of it. Justice has arrived. He is bearing the consequences of his actions that he has done so that he could live a comfy lifestyle, basically screwing over the little guy. Justice is here, and this is just the beginning of it. His money and his legacy are about to be lost. This $350 million, now Trump again claims to be a billionaire, or a billionaire multiple times over. So while $350 million is a ridiculous amount of money, and most billionaires, nobody wants to pay $350 million in fines. But a billionaire should be able to afford it because, it's still only a third of his net worth if he's only a single billionaire. And Trump makes himself to be a multi-billionaire out. If it was 20% of his wealth, it would probably only take 2 or 3 years to recover that loss. Trump not only doesn't have 2 to 3 years left on this planet, he also doesn't have a couple $1 billion. This is going to take most of his net worth. The nightmares are beginning. Without that money, his legacy dies. He needs to have the illusion of wealth to convince people that he is a powerful leader and all that. And he's about to lose all this money and his ability to make money. His nightmares are beginning. This is his worst nightmare. All his money is being taken away. And with all his money being taken away, all his power, all his influence, and all of his self-worth go with it. It's the end. This is the absolute end of Donald Trump. Lock, stock, and barrel. Without the money, he is nothing. And again, the money is the one thing that has kept people off of him because he can always outspend them. He always had more resources than they had. Those resources have now been taken away. Without those resources, he cannot defend himself the way he's normally used to defending himself, which is, in poker terms, always buying the pot, outbidding other people, and they run out of money, and so he wins. That's how he does it. He's very simple-minded in that regard. He doesn't have many tricks. He just uses the same tricks over and over again. Donald is in deep, deep doo-doo. And I'm here for that. Eric and Don Jr., how are they feeling with the fact that they also got hit with a $4 million fine? Now, mind you, they don't have the wealth that their dad has. Their dad has all the family wealth, and he controls all of it because that's how you control things, and that's how you manipulate your kids, your spawn, as it were. Well, Don Jr. and Eric Trump both got hit with $4 million fines. As much as Don Sr. is going to complain about how unfair this is and $350 million and blah, 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 I bet you $4 million is more of Don Jr. and Eric's net worth than the 350. Well, maybe not. Percentage-wise, it might be the same. It's only 1% of the judgment, but how are Jr. and Eric going to take to having to pay a $4 million fine apiece? Go to Dad? You're not going to go to Dad, are you? You think your dad's going to pay that? Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's going to go fine. Can I be there for that conversation? Dad, you got all the money. It's literally, Dad, this is all your stuff that you did. You put us in charge of the company, but you did all this. You should be paying this for us. Remember, we had an agreement. We were just the figureheads, and you were still in charge. They're going to go to him for the money. Oh, my God. Oh, I just can't see how this is going to... I can't imagine this being a bad idea. I'm sure this will play out just fine. In the past, we got the Two of Swords. They made their choices. They went down the path that they went down. They perpetuated the lies and the illusion. They were willing partners in all of Donald Trump's fraudulent money schemes. And now they're trapped. Because they made their choice, they're now trapped. They're now the helpless victims on this. Oh, Father, please come and help us. We're tied to the railroad tracks. We're going to die unless you give us $4 million each. To which Donald's going to say, you two are crazy. There ain't no way I'm paying your $4 million. I suggest that you guys go ahead and file your appeal. Come up with your $4 million of your bonds to do that. Trump is not going to pay for that. Yep. No, the king is dead. Long live the king. These two kids are crying because Daddy is dead. Daddy's not helping them. Not going to help them. Nope. No siree. No way, no how. Not only does this bring the end of Donald Trump and the Trump legacy and dynasty or mythology, whatever, it's not good for Eric and Don Jr. I mean, they have money. $4 million is a lot of money, unless they've been squirreling away and embezzling a lot. Their sister's the one who's really good at that. I don't know how good they are with it. The outcome is the juggling. Yeah, they've got some problems. They're going to be losing some money here. They're going to be in some financial turmoil as they try and figure out how they're going to do this. Do they appeal? Do they try to negotiate? This is going to rock their little financial worlds. The other hard part with them is I really don't know what their net worth is. They put all their dang buildings in the business. So their personal homes and stuff like that all are in the Trump business. And the Trump business has been ordered to be liquidated. So they might be making the argument that, well, Dad, our houses are in there and they're our houses. So the money from the Trump organization should pay for our losses. Oh, I'm sure he'll get right on that. Oh my God, my God, my God, my God! This family. Anything else I want to throw on that one? This quickie is turning into a longie. It's definitely going to be an afternoon delight, right? What any other messages from Spirit with regards to Judge Engoron's decision and the Trump family that I haven't covered yet? How about that? Just some random thing that good luck with David trying to interpret this one. But hey, you know what? Maybe they'll make it really easy on me. What else do I need to know? This is big money. This is a big money. This is a big time money decision here. And don't underestimate how big this impact is going to be on Trump, his family, and his way of doing things. Knight of Cups. Of course, he's going to have to go to his donors. Oh, yes. He's going to have to go to his donors to try and get money. He's already trying to put Lara Trump in charge of the RNC and trying to basically get the money from there. He's going to go out and try and get money wherever he can. But underneath it all, this is the demise of Donald Trump and the Donald Trump business that's going on. He's been stealing for a long time. That's all he knows how to do. He'll betray anybody, anytime, anywhere for money. This is his love of money and his ability to con people out of money. And his insincerity and his lack of integrity involving money and conning people is what's led to this tower moment. Untrustworthy, will betray you in a second. Always puts himself as the star, as above it all. You know, it's never his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And that narcissism is biting him in the butt. He rules like an emperor, but he acts like a thief. He's a fake emperor. He portrays himself as a strong emperor, but he's really a thief at the end of the day. And he's just an agent of chaos. And there's going to be chaos with this decision. This decision is going to set off a cascade of chaos, from banks calling in loans to, trying to repossess things, to his political influence is now going to be all over the place because of this very large decision. His ability to fight off other court cases is now going to be diminished. He's not going to be able to pay his lawyers. This is going to have such a cascading effect on his finances and the way he carries himself and does things that his life is going to be in a death spiral. Sorry to say it, but that's kind of the vision. He literally is the giant orange turd that's circling the bowl and is ready to go glug, glug, glug into the plumbing over the U-bend and down into the sewer system. And he's done it to himself. His greed has done this. And now he's paying the price for it. And we get to witness it. So, Kim from Intuit View's vision of King Kong falling off the Empire State Building, that's what we're seeing right now. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. Again, check out Tarot by the Seven Seas. I'm not sure what side it's going to be on. It's going to be on one of these two sides. Check out Tarot by the Seven Seas, my international channel, and you can catch the my reading I just did on Alexei Navalny and the consequences that Putin will face for this. Thank you for everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience, to folks just discovering this channel. Welcome. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.